Hey everybody, Stinger here with a special message, a special thank you to the best Italian wrestling podcast. That's right, the best Italian wrestling podcast called Pro Wrestling Culture. Specifically, thank you to Aldo Fiadoni, all right? Aldo, awesome job, man. I guess you and I met in New York in 2019. And there were some tears shed there. Man, I love that. I love that. You know what? Real men can cry, bro. Let me tell you something. Man, means a lot that you watch. Means a lot that this podcast is happening. And the pro wrestling culture appreciates Aldo Fiadoni. So be watching there. It's going to be showtime. And tune in to the podcast, Pro Wrestling Culture, because it's always showtime there from the Stinger.
Questo programma non è soggetto a infezioni. It's showtime.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new brand episode of Pro Wrestling Culture. Here with you, the real messiah, Aldo Fiadone, and my special guest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Sammy D. Sam Doyle. Hi, Sammy.
Hey, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. I'm good, and thank you very much for being here on PWC. So, I want to start this interview with a simple question. Tell us more about your beginnings in pro wrestling and who is your first inspiration in your career?
Well, that's a hard question. I have lots of inspirations. I remember watching wrestling for the first time when I was maybe 4 or 5. That's probably one of my first memories in my life, and I was just mesmerized by wrestling, by the entrances, by the outfits, by the color and the picture of it, you know, and it just it caught my eye and it kind of never left me. How I got started in wrestling is a different story. I was lucky enough. I played all kinds of sports when I was a kid. I played rugby, football, what we call Gaelic here in GAA in Ireland, and of course I enjoyed them. But I remember seeing an advertisement for a wrestling gym in Bray, County Wicklow, NWA Ireland, now known as Fight Factory Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And I was very, very young, though. You know, I was 12 or 13, and I asked my mom to bring me out and asked her. And I think, like anyone's parent, to let their child to go and fall around and land on their head is not the best option. So she kind of stopped me going until I was 13, just turning 14. So I was very, very young. I was probably one of the youngest into school out in Bray. But I remember going out in my first session. I was there, and I just loved it. I knew this was for me. There was nothing else for me, and that was my beginnings. But I was very lucky in a sense. The school I was in had the types of coaching as Fergal Devitt, Paul Tracy, Sean Guinness, Jordan Devlin, Phil Boyd.
Yeah.
And you know,
Ireland is a great territory. I was there during the OTT 5th anniversary show, and was awesome. So I knew the Fight Factory, and I have a friend that lived in Cork with other little companies there. And I think Ireland is probably the biggest country for professional wrestling in Europe. Very, very good country. In fact, my next question is about your time in over-the-top wrestling. You won many titles, the OTT Tag Team titles with Be Cool, the Gender Neutral Championship, and currently you are the No Limits Champion. So you improved year by year, and now, what is your goal for your career there?
I think it's very clear what my goal is, and that is to beat Omari in ScrapperMania and become the OTT World Champion. As you said, I've done everything there is to do in OTT, and I think the next step is for me to take the World Championship, and I think it's a perfect story. You know, as you said there, I've got better every year. I've progressed, and I think it's my time. I don't think anyone would doubt the fact that I've had a standout year last year, holding and defending the NLW Championship, and I have no doubt that I will beat Omari in ScrapperMania, and I will become the first ever person in Irish wrestling to hold every championship in
the real Grand Slam champion.
The Grand Slam, not the world.
So, ScrapperMania is around the corner, and absolutely one of the most iconic show with the anniversary show in October. 2 nights in the National Stadium of Dublin and in Wolverhampton. So, for the company, for OTT, after the pandemic era, what is the status of the company and Ireland in general in this moment?
Well, I think obviously the pandemic hit us hard, like everyone else. That's no doubt. And entertainment in general took a massive hit. I've friends all across the entertainment industry that were hit very, very hard. And I think, it was a case of having to come back stronger. And I kind of took that on myself. Lots of things changed during COVID for people. And I took it on myself, and I know OTT took it on, that we'd come back stronger. It gave a lot of opportunities to newer talent from all across the globe, including Italy. A lot of our lads are from Italy now, and I think it was a reset, and a reset can be good as well, So our goal going forward is to put the best product we can out there. And I think we have done that since we came back from COVID. We obviously gone over to Wolverhampton. We've branched out to the UK. And I think we're going strength to strength, and we want to get stronger and stronger.
Absolutely. In fact, after the first part, after COVID, OTT had many shows in Belfast, because it's the UK territory, and Ireland still in lockdown during that moment, I think.
Well, there's an old Irish saying, and it is, if there's a will, there's a way. So if you have the hope for something, you can do it. So our way to have shows is to have them in Belfast, and we're lucky enough that we drive an hour and 40 minutes up the road and we're in Belfast. So we got lucky there. But I think when it comes down to ScrapperMania and it comes down to the anniversary shows, and you're in the National Stadium. I don't know if you've been in Dublin. That's 2,500 people in Dublin city centre. It's a pretty amazing feeling. There's not much atmosphere, and I've been to a lot of shows all over the place, and there's not a lot of atmospheres that match that.
The beautiful place, National Stadium, is a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
So during the UK boom in professional wrestling in Europe in general, we saw many stars in various shows, like Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, AJ Styles in Rev Pro, Samoa Joe in Progress Wrestling. So for ScrapperMania, we will see Jon Moxley. After the 2020, before the pandemic, we finally see Jon Moxley in OTT. And during the past years, we saw Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and many other stars in over-the-top wrestling. So, with these names, there are many chances for other stars like you and many other European talents to shine once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I think it's something that OTT has done from the start, from the get-go, is give the Irish lads and the lads that are training here opportunities against stars that come in, And I think my view on wrestling is you only get better from being in there with someone that's better than you. I mean, you can wrestle people your same level or below you all the time and feel great about that. But I mean, the only time you ever get better at anything is being around people that are better at that than you. And that's across the board with life, but no true with wrestling. So to be given the opportunity to learn and to be in the ring with the likes of them stars is incredible. And I think I am, and a lot of the lads are very grateful they had that chance. And, we're very lucky here that we have a platform, we have a promotion that people want to come to work from across the globe and from all levels of wrestling, and we're very, very lucky.
I'm a subscriber on OTT of Demand, and I wanted to see a big match with you one day. In fact, about I learn lessons for the future, for your career. Who is your dream opponent?
My dream opponent?
Yeah.
I get asked that a lot, and I've had a lot of dream opponents, and I've done an awful lot of stuff that I wanted to do. My dream is to be the OTT World Champion and to take
absolutely
and to take this company to the next level, And I say it all the time. I'm here with Irish wrestling, and I want to take it to the next level. And I think my goals are set in stone. So you can bring the John Moxleys and the Matt Cardonas and whoever else you want to our platform, and I think I want to wrestle them here in Ireland.
A perfect answer. Seriously, perfect answer. So I don't know if you know the Italian wrestling and the status of Italian wrestling right now, because we have many companies like Break Pro Wrestling, like Italian Wrestling Association, Rising Sun Wrestling Promotion, and during the years also the Italian wrestling improved year by year. And I think probably after the UK boom, I think it's time for an Italian boom. Probably one day, I don't know if we will see it, but an OTT show against an Italian show will be a perfect combination if any talent of my country.
We have a lot of Italian. We have a lot of Italian guys here. We have Renzo. We have
Renzo Rose. Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic guys. But I'm saying is, how are you going to get better if all your guys are here? I'd love to. We obviously OTT wants to travel around and wants to be all over. That's my doorbell, by the way.
Don't worry.
All over the world, and we love to have shows in all countries. But I think what I've seen with the Italian guys here, there's a fantastic hunger and work ethic between them all. So I'd hope that is across the board over there. And listen, the Irish wrestling boom didn't come until after, a long time after the UK wrestling boom, and as I said, we were lucky enough at the start of OTT to have the likes of Pete Dunne, Ryan Smile, and them kind of guys over here, and then kind of see that way. So hopefully, as it goes on, the Italian wrestling scene will grow, and I'd love to see it someday. I'd love to go to Italy someday. There you go. There's a tip for you.
we have good food, and that is a win for you.
It wouldn't last a week.
Okay, Sammy, thank you very much for your time, for this little conversation. And I think I want to say good luck for your match in ScrapperMania and for the opportunity to be the OTT World Heavyweight Champion.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And hopefully, when that time comes, that OTT come to Italy, I will have the OTT championship around my waist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think when I'm going to Ireland once again, I want to see you with the OTT World Championship around your waist.
So do I.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sammy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Thank you.